client has been diagnosed with alcohol use disorder and depression. Samantha is a 30-year-old female who is currently struggling with her daily routine. She has reported that her alcohol use has impacted her close relationships, job, and has even increased her depressive symptoms. Vertava Health, who specializes in addiction treatment, identifies that solution-focused therapy is highly beneficial in treating substance abuse as it utilizes positive reinforcement and highlights the strengths of the client. It is goal-oriented and helps clients in identifying their goals in addition to achieving them. It emphasizes the future and helps clients to envision a successful recovery. Finally, solution-focused therapy is patient-driven, meaning it increases motivation and is specific to the client's needs. Additionally, a study conducted by Carla Gonzalez, Pablo Giraldo, and Marlena Stay revealed that solutions-focused therapy resulted in positive trends in the percentage of days abstinent, diminished consequences of alcohol use, decreases in the depression index, and increases in self-reported well-being for individuals diagnosed with alcohol disorder. Hi, Samantha. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I felt pretty good after our last session last week, but kind of only short term. Then I just started feeling hopeless again, and just really struggling. My husband just is very, he doesn't seem interested in fixing things and doesn't seem like he believes that I can change. I'm really struggling with my job, and this is affecting my kids now too, and I'm just not feeling good, which causes me to drink more.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way, and I know it's definitely hard since this is really only our second session, so hopefully we can work on some of those things today.
Yeah, I would like that.
Well, I do appreciate you coming back for your second session. I think it's great that you've come back and you're trying to make these steps to kind of improve on some of these problems. So I'm really proud of you for doing that. In our last session, we discussed you wanting to make some changes in regard to your alcohol abuse. Could you tell me a little bit more about that today? I know you mentioned that it has been impacting your relationship with your husband, as well as with your children.
Yeah, so it all started a few months ago. I was up for this promotion at work and really thought that I was going to get it. Kind of made some financial decisions relying on me getting that promotion. And then I ended up not getting it. And so, one drink led to two, and two led to five, and five led to not stopping drinking. So that's kind of the start of it. And then I just, with the alcohol use and just being mad at my job, I've just stopped going. Sometimes I'm too hungover to go. Sometimes I just don't care and I'd rather stay home and drink. And because of this, like I said, I made financial decisions relying on getting this promotion, and now I'm not even going to work. So I'm really in debt. My husband's just always mad at me. When I drink, I get kind of angry, so I'm lashing out at my kids. And it's kind of a disaster.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that's going on right now for you, Samantha. Do you have an idea of how long this has been going on for?
So this promotion that I thought I was gonna get happened back in September.
Okay.
So it's been like 3 months-ish.
Okay. Okay. Well, before we move forward, I would like to ask you what needs to happen in this session in order for you to feel like it has been worthwhile.
I mean, I've got a lot of stuff going on, so I definitely don't think that we're gonna hash away and make my life perfect after an hour
Mhm.
here. But like I said last time, I felt pretty good after we left, and that only lasted for a short time, and that's nothing that happened during the session. That's just, I felt kind of hopeless again, because I always feel hopeless. So I guess I'm just looking for each session that I have to feel like there is hope longer and longer after the session,
Mhm.
until hopefully that hope sticks around and I can actually start to make change.
Okay. I appreciate you telling me that because ideally I want these sessions to help you as much as possible. So thank you for helping me with that.
Hmm.
So, if you had to describe the negative impacts that the substance abuse has had on your life, what would you say those are?
Definitely number one, the relationships with my family. Um, my kids just really don't want anything to do with me anymore
Mhm,
because I'm always either drunk or angry or hungover and crabby.
mhm,
Um, I really would like to fix things with my husband and, I need his support to get through this. And right now I don't have that. So I really need to get him on board with this. And kind of all of my friends have stopped talking to me too, just because
mhm.
I don't know, they say I'm negative all the time.
Yeah.
And like I said, also my job, I need to start going again, but I don't have the drive to go. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. When these negative things happen, how do you typically cope with them?
Drinking.
Yeah.
Um, there's pretty much nothing else that I do. I pretty much drink
Okay.
until I pass out, and then when I wake up in the morning, it starts all over.
Okay. Now, in contrast to the previous question, what are some positives in your life at the moment? Are there any ways that the alcohol or the drinking has improved recently?
I wouldn't say it's improved. I would say a positive is that, my family still is in my life, which makes me
Mhm,
think that there is hope. Um,
mhm.
I have some friends who have gone through similar situations and their spouses and kids just up and left, and that was it. There was no hope of fixing that kind of familial relationship. So I'm going to look at that as a positive, that although things aren't going great right now with those relationships, that they
Mhm,
are still around. And I hope that that means they're willing to allow things to get better.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, wouldn't really say that my drinking in and of itself
Okay.
has improved.
Okay. What do you think has led to your family still, not necessarily that they've been supportive, but why do you think they're still in your life and that they're still present?
We were really close before all of this started. So I was very close with my kids. My husband and I had a fantastic relationship.
Mhm,
Um, he definitely didn't agree with me making those financial decisions that were reliant on this promotion, and didn't think that I should do that before it was secure in the bag, and I did it anyways. And so that kind of is what started the downfall with that. But prior to all of this, I had a great relationship with my family, and so I think that's why they, are still sticking around and hoping for the best.
okay, thank you. Um, I'd like to do a little exercise with you. So, Samantha, if you were to imagine that you went to bed tonight and then the next morning you woke up and you found that all of your problems had been solved, what would that look like and how would you know it had been fixed?
It would look like how it looked before the drinking, except I would have gotten that promotion at work.
Mhm,
Um, so, just being, like I said, very close with my kids and my husband, having, family dinners again, family game night, going on vacations. We haven't done anything as a family in the past few months.
mhm,
And I miss that. I recognize that, but it's hard to just stop the drinking. So that's what it would look like. If I woke up
mhm.
and things were perfect and great again. Um, and I I don't know. It's hard to kind of picture life now without alcohol in
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you do really miss that close relationship that you had with your family, but I just want you to remember that you coming to these sessions is kind of the first step. and you're working towards progress and improvement. So that's an awesome first step to make. Going back to the question I'd previously asked, from a scale from 1 to 10, how attainable do you think this goal of improvement would be for you?
Right now, seeing my life as it is, it feels unattainable. However, I once lived that life, so I know that it is. So in realistic terms, I would say it's a 10, but right now it kind of feels like a 5, it feels
Yeah.
like I'm so deep in this alcohol use hole that I'm never going to be able to dig myself out of it. But also I know that I can, because I did it. So I've proved to myself that I can, but right now it just seems like that's not going to happen again.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you kind of reflecting on that and acknowledging that, this is something that you've been able to attain in the past. And I think it's good to keep reflecting on that. And I hope that we can just keep working together in order to make these improvements in your life.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, something that may help you, Samantha, is if we can assign like small homework assignments for each of our sessions. I think that would help you in the week kind of following each of our sessions. So one of my questions for you is, have you attended any AA meetings?
I've gone as far as looking up the closest one to me, but I haven't been able to get myself to go. Also, that requires driving, and I don't think my husband is on board quite yet to drive me there. And even through all of this, I, will not and have not driven drunk. So it's hard to find a sober period to go to those.
Okay. Do you think you could potentially use a different kind of transportation, like the bus?
Maybe, and I've thought about taking an Uber. But honestly, more of, I think there's shame in involving an outside person dropping me off at an AA meeting. So that's why I haven't done it.
I understand that. Yeah, that's a tricky situation. But do you think for your homework until our next session, Samantha, that you could try to find an AA meeting that is closest to you and consider even attending a session?
Yeah, I can do that.
Great. I'm happy to hear that. Well, that is the end of our time for today. Thank you for coming and sharing everything with me, Samantha.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.